All right. Good morning, traders. Happy Monday, everybody. Good morning, Charles. Good morning, Bit Boss. Good morning, Mike. Good morning, James. Hello, Jim Martin. Good to see you. Jim, I believe you're new or newish, and as such, I'd like to formally welcome you. I don't think I've taken the time prior to this, but in seeing your name, I want to say hello and welcome you to the group formally. Good evening, Sandy, on the other side of the world. Good morning, Peter. Okay, let's go officially. Welcome out, everyone, to the Options Income Launchpad Monday Market Kickoff. My name is Scott. I will be your host. Technically, it's 9:30, not 9:15. We've changed the start time. I thought I had adjusted my slides, but not quite took yet, apparently. Uh, okay. Good morning, David. As always, let me remind you what we do is for education and illustrated purposes only, nothing intended as a recommendation to buy or sell any security or financial product. We're not brokers or advisors, therefore, nothing we do or say should be considered or intended as uh, personalized investment advice. Any decision you make should be done so at your own risk, yada, yada, yada. Okay, what we do, we're going to talk about the posture. We're going to talk about, oh, also, if you were looking for the Sunday recap. I apologize. I tried to post it a couple of different times and there was an issue on Circle. I'm trying to figure that out, so I will hopefully get that and today's posted this morning. But we will go ahead and review the posture for those who might have missed it. It was an improvement. We do like conditions just slightly better now. So we will talk about that. In fact, let's just jump in right there. If you happened to miss it, nope, that's not what I wanted. Good morning, Vladimir. Good to see you. Good morning, Simone. Okay. Uh, oh, where's my mouse? There it is. What happened? We got a as a group, we got a 3/4 point gain. The Oracle got a full 1 point gain. Where did the changes come? So long term, I'm still 1 1/4. Great foundation. The Oracle still 1.5. Everybody loves having a long-term trend in place representative of institutional strength, institutional order. My short-term score jumped 1/4 point back to a one. That's 2 straight weeks getting back. So we dipped and then we regained back to a one. Uh, the Oracle, this is a spot where I find it is much faster. It's more aggressive, probably both up and down. But it raised its score a 0.5 point to a two, so it's a much stronger foundational score than mine at this point. Last time it did that, we had a nice run. So while I don't see it myself, I'm hopeful. Good Monday morning to you, Kent. Good to see you. Volume increased by a quarter point for both of us. My major market stayed the same. Wait, did my major market stay the same? And his major market increase. He increased major market and no, just major market. I kept major market. He increased it. I increased sector rotation. The Oracle did not. Neither of us increased the VIX. But overall, the Oracle is at a 5. I'm at a 4.25. Good, you know, entry level bullish numbers. They're not like, hey, this is a strong market type bullish numbers. Um, but better than not. So there you go. Morning to you, Lee. Good morning, Mario. Good to see you both. Any questions about posture? Let me know. Let's take a quick gander at the news while the opening range is developing. Where are you? There you are. So nothing today, and then tomorrow we have not much really. Small business optimism index, nobody cares. Existing home sales, eh. Debt and credit report by the New York Federal Reserve Bank, nobody cares. Wednesday, we have CPI. What are we looking for? Well, slight downtick in the year over years. 3.5 to 3.4, 2.6 to 2.5. But an uptick in the month over month from 0 to zero point 0.3 and from minus zero point 0.4 to positive zero point 0.1. So is it like, oh man, inflation is going at such a rate? No. But is the inflation persistent? Yes. And that's where we find ourselves. Good morning to you, Joey. And good morning, Stephen D. Good to see you both. All right. So we do have CPI on Wednesday. We do have PPI on Thursday. We're only getting projections for the month over months. We're not getting the year over year projections yet. We'll see if those update during the course of the week. Friday, retail sales, and that'll do it. So there you go. All right. All right. Let's take a look at the SPY. Flat. We're flat today. Minus 0.09% on the SPY. What are we seeing right now? So we talked about market posture as being somewhat favorable, more favorable than not. Um, more favorable than not. But what do we see when we say, okay, well, if our posture improved, does that mean we're just gonna go in Monday morning and start slapping on new bullish trades? Absolutely not. No, we don't think it means that at all. Um, we see this SPY as being overbought right now, right? That's pretty clear. If you look down here in our stochastics, however, and it can stay overbought but not even go anywhere either. We might see something like this. Just grind sideways. However, market grinding sideways means some things are going down, some things are going up. We may still find what we're looking for there. We may see a consolidation where we think, oh, we pull back for a couple of days and we get back to this old resistance level, and then we turn, and this thing maybe pulls back a little bit and then makes that turn. Something that might look like this over here. After a bullish move, we have a consolidation. That's kind of the classic that we're looking for. You would see it had a very similar looking stochastics and then a little pullback, and that was a 3 day pullback, and then it turned. So, what are the possibilities? What would make us trade? What is our now what? My now what now is patience. I'm not coming in saying, oh, look, I'm bullish on my posture and the market is down at a support level or trying to find a support level. That would have been more of the conversation a week or two ago where we're like, hey, we're in this area looking to see if this is going to turn and give us some trades. And we did get turns and did get some trades. Now, managing and looking to see what comes next. So in this case, however, we're 12 minutes in. The opening range is pretty tight. We'll see what happens as we continue watching. Let's go look at the VIX. So our VIX did get down to a new low, down to 14, which was great. That was nice to see that the market was not potentially setting up for anything nefarious, as it were. A higher low on the VIX is something that we tend to look at very suspiciously, with often a hedge to boot. Good morning, Joey. Good morning, Stephen D. and Victor. Good to see you all. All right, let's go look at the other markets real fast. Here is the IWM. Down 0.23. Here is the QQQ. Down 0.23. Here is the Dow. Down 0.08. All right. Okay. Bear with me here. Let's get to the top of our list and work our way down. So I will post today's record or yesterday and today's summaries, and we'll go from there. Okay, American Airlines. Well, we've been doing this a little more frequently. Let's go take a look at oil. Let's go look at oil. And we'll see. Oftentimes, when we're looking at oil, we're actually getting a sense of do we think that the conflict is escalating or de-escalating? What we think may come from that. So let's take a quick peek at the CLs. We're looking at the light sweet crude, up 2.5%. The BZs, the Brent crude, also up 2.5%. Very similar. Okay, so a little bit of pressure possibly coming in from that front. But what did we see here from AAL or DAL? They were in these oil is expensive consolidations, is what we call that right there. That's an oil is expensive consolidation. And now what do we see? It paused and broke, so we ended up getting through the barricade, through the blockade, if you will. Volume is down, but overall, uh, let's see. Overall, I would say, yeah, this is just made a new high. Now it's looking at the prospects of a higher low in formation as we speak. Yeah, on my list. If we see this thing sort of pause and then look to make that turn, this stochastics is likely to then kind of turn sideways and you know, we end up seeing something like this. That's what we'll be looking for, likely putting the target up there and seeing if it can regain the old highs under those conditions. Okay. Okay. Apple delete. Apple, no. You can see Apple it gapped down on earnings. I mean, it really did not get much of that gap back. As you look at that, it's hard to look at that and think, yeah, it's trying to do its thing. Looks like it's struggling. It tried to regain some small measure, and it really just didn't have much to it. And so yeah, yeah. At this point, I would say Apple's not really on the table for us. Archer Daniels. Okay. Now, what do you see here? You see a stochastics turning up and a price turning up, and some people think, was that a trade? The hard part is you don't have much of a trend. You have a bit of a trend, I suppose. It's a stretch that you're connecting that. Yeah, actually, I mean, look, if you looked at this and said, "Hey, I'm looking for something now," what range or what venue is this? This is consumer staples. It's going to be a more uh, defensive oriented position. Um, yeah, okay. The volatility is quite low. Let's pause for a second on this. It's not a classic setup that, has like a strong established trend, but I got to tell you, if somebody came in, I am comparing it to that day almost, or very similar, because this big white candle, very similar to what we're seeing there. Both times, this time it's right on top of the 50 day. Last time it was a little above the 50 day. A lot of similarities there, and it took a few days to get going, and then boom, off it goes. So if it took a few days to get going and then went on up here to 90, 92. That's a nice trade. So let's go look at these options just to see if that's something that might entice us. They don't have weeklies, only monthlies. That's not necessarily disqualifying. Quick question. When I say let's go check the options, do you guys also go look at the options or is it easier? I do have them that I can pull over. I like it for you guys to go look so you can see what I'm seeing. Lee says, yep. I kind of figured as much. But in case someone's not going, let me just pull over and show you what I'm doing so you can start doing that. You'd be like, oh, Scott wants to go look at the options. Let's go into the options chain. It looks like most people are. Good. Good, good, good. You guys are amazing. As I would expect. I'm going to go out to the Septembers. I'm going to go out of the money. Um, I would actually say, yeah, I think I could do these. I mean, they're not phenomenal. I've got 30 cents, 50 cents, 50 cents, but it holds up. If I buy the 85s for a buck oh five and I get a $10 move and they become $5 worth of options, yeah, I did all right. Right? I bought them for a dollar. Now they're worth 4 or 5. I probably did a pretty good reward to risk ratio on that one. This is not ideal, and in a better market where we haven't had so many um, liquidity issues, I would probably be like pass. But right now, I'm like, you know what? I think we need to consider this. For whatever reason, we have just fallen into a less efficient options market, and the market makers are benefiting. It's frustrating for us, but there's really not much we can do about it. And so, with that in mind, we just sort of have to, play the hand we're dealt. Those are the Septembers. Yeah, those are the Seps. If you go to August, you only have 11 days. And I just don't think there's enough time for that trade. Spreads aren't good. Oh, yeah, spreads are worse, actually, it looks like here in the August. So this is I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. This isn't great. This isn't great liquidity. It's pretty mediocre, in fact. But that's unfortunately we're seeing a good amount of that kind of stuff. And we're all hopeful that it corrects itself over time, but not so much yet. Okay, let's erase that. Let's get rid of you. And let's keep going. Applied materials. These guys are kind of in a funky place, a lot of them. It's like they sort of recovered, but sort of didn't. They're just sort of floating along, overextended. Definitely overbought right now. We have earnings coming up in a few days. None of them have had like smashing earnings, but everything's sort of holding up. So this will be interesting. Ooh, okay. Amazon. What's the ooh? Ooh, we bounced and we gapped up on earnings. Boom, big old gap on earnings. So that big old gap was nice and got up to new highs. It broke through all that. And now we're in this consolidation down. Stochastics has turned, it's coming down, but not much. This seems to be the new support level here. Um, Now, with this line coming down like this, what am I waiting for? I need from this point today for this to be a trade. I would need it to not just take out yesterday's high, but actually it would need to really kind of break through this whole downward consolidation line. I would need this thing probably at least to 281. And we're at 275. Now, if it did that, I'd probably be looking for at least one of these. Maybe one of these. Let's see. Uh 312. So if we break 281, it's 30 points. So it's setting up. It's not today, most likely. It's too early for a bounce trade. It hasn't shown enough strength for a breakout trade. But we would love to see Amazon lead the consumer discretionary sector into a more bullish positioning because that will help us to improve the overall quality score of the market as a whole. ASX, come on. I still liked it, I said. It's still trying. I gave it a little, it had this kind of a little hiccup kind of a pattern, and I moved the line to give it a path to follow, and it seems to be. So great. Let's see what happens. Nice to see it up 3% today. Who still has a piece of ASX? Let me know. Is it, as we're going through the whole lineup today, um, let me know. Let me know if you have a trade on. Kent still does. Good. Love it. Love it. I do, definitely. So Kent and I are riding together at the very least. Okay. Let's keep going. BAC looks bullish. It's not one for spitting out real consistent trading signals by way of entries. Um, yeah, but yeah, what are you gonna do? BNS? No, no, not as strong. City. I'm thinking about it. We had this consolidation coming down, busted out of it. Now, as it pulls back, it's trying to hold. So if it can come out of this and snap, maybe it's off and running again. We'll keep our eye on this one and see what we think. CrowdStrike. It faltered a little bit where it gapped down but recovered and then up and then up. So that one still looks good. Charles, you still have a piece? I think you said you had at least one left. There you go. Yeah, very nice. Cisco, no, we're overextended. We're butting up against earnings right here. We'll just watch and see. CSX. Um, a little hiccup, bent but not broken. Let's see what happens. Support level hasn't even really been tested, let alone broken. But we'd like to see things move pretty quickly if possible. CTAS. Oh, there. That's looking interesting. That's looking interesting. Let's go take a look at the September options. Do we have the liquidity we would like to see? Probably not. But do we have enough liquidity? And again, oh, that's September 4th. That's not what I want. I was like, no, we don't. But maybe I'm in the wrong option. Ooh. I was hopeful I was hopeful, but when you come and you look at this, and again, look at this. The last one we looked at didn't have weeklies, only monthlies, but way better spreads than this. Way better. This has weeklies, and we have Septembers with, dozens, if not hundreds of contracts. Look at these spreads. 70 by 320, that's a $2.50 spread. 250 by 610, that's a $3.50 spread. It's untenable. Too much, too much. We can't. I'll keep an eye, but this one just doesn't feel like it could develop into the trade that I need from from that much um, width on the overall spread um, arena. Okay, let's keep going here. Okay, let's bear with me, bear with me, bear with me. I have lost my. Oh, forgot to drag it back. Sorry, looking at the wrong screen. All right. Okay. Stephen D says the other factor we have to watch out for in a continuing a trade is the time decay. CSX expires 8/21 and the hiccup did not help us. True that. Yeah, yeah. Now we're not in the week of expiration, but we are in the second to last week of expiration. And so we definitely want to be very tight at this point with, there's no more room. When you're in the last 2 weeks, there are no more hiccups, right? At this point. Anything that derails positive momentum, and it's time to shut it down without question. Absolutely right. Okay. Delta. I like Delta better than American. Why? Because it's got better spreads. This one actually has reasonable spreads that we traded and we said, hey, look at this. 20 cents, 15 cents, 12 cents. Let me bring it over real quickly, just since I have been, so you can get a sense for this one. Those of you not looking on your own, now look, thousands of open interest. And look at your spreads, 15, 20, right? It's much more tenable for us to build a trade and not just be paying market makers, leaving nothing for us. There has to be room for us. DIA. Actually, the Dow looks like it's in a bull flag, so it looks kind of strong. Elf Cosmetics had a good earnings, starting to pull back a little bit. Nothing yet, but better than not. GE in a bull flag. It's expensive. The implied volatility has dropped off quite a bit, but actually not. But I'm going to say yes. The spreads look much better here than they have. Let me pull it over. This is much better. Now look. Ooh, okay. 190 by 220. 30 cents here. I think I would be much more comfortable now with GE. So there you go. The founder of Elf has become a priest. Is that right? Well, that's an interesting progression. Gold overextended, but has some momentum. GM had some momentum, is now in a consolidation. Google, come on, Google. Come on, Google. You know you want to be traded by me. Everybody can see that you want to just maybe take one more day and then go. Maybe you just want to turn. Just like boop, we're out of here. Bam. Support, stop loss. Yeah, that looks fine. Right up in there. 405, new target. Bang. Whoa, whoa. Whoa, 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 Amazon. Don't come button in line. There we go. Back to Google. Charles. Charles knows I do. I love Google. Uh, I love trading Google. Good options. It's yeah. Okay. I'm looking for that one this week for sure. If this thing turns, you can all but guarantee an alert will come your way. Goldman Sachs, no. I guess maybe. HPQ overextended, IWM. Yeah, it's real. Look at that. You can see the IWM. It's just flat today. Small caps are just sort of stuck here for a minute. Johnson and Johnson. Oof, I don't know. I'm not gonna lie. I'm thinking about it. I'm thinking about this as a continuation. I can put my stop below this low, 255.12. Put it down at, let's say, even say 254-ish. 254-ish would be 5.5. Upside target, 287. That's 27 points to the upside. 27 to the upside. 5.5 to the downside. It's better than 4-1. I'm thinking about this one. I had a template up. Is this it? Johnson and Johnson. We'll come back to this one. Let's go through the whole list and then we'll come back to this and just explore it because a lot of things are setting up, but not really in viable positions yet. But this one seems to set up and started to like pop around and want to make this move. KMB, no. Lionsgate, no. I don't know. If Lionsgate fully breaks and closes below the 50 and has a whole body in below the 50, I'm getting ready to kick this off the list. We actually traded it a couple of times and had an interesting run with it, but now I'm feel like it's lost its shine. LRCX, not great. Lunar, okay. Coming into earnings soon. Gonna have to watch, wait and see. MetLife is a maybe. It's in a little bit of a flag consolidation right here. And you can see, sometimes it gives us this last little move around earnings was choppier, but that's fine because it was earnings. But if this thing comes in here and then turns, then yeah, I'm gonna think, great, let's grab one of these and see where we think it's gonna go. Something like that. We'll see. Insurance has been pretty strong, so it could be MetLife, Allstate, Progressive. Meta flat. Monster down. Marvel is down. Morgan Stanley thinking about it, maybe. Keeping an eye on it. Nothing setting up yet. Microsoft overextended. Micron still sort of in its current consolidation range. Netflix is sort of hovering. Oh, okay. I'm feeling a sneaky reversal. And when I say a sneaky reversal, I'm saying, it's a reversal that happens kind of down in the dregs of its moving averages. There's no like, oh man, look how good this classic sign of it's that's why it's a sneaky reversal. It's just kind of sneaking it in there, and then all of a sudden it's like whoop, and you're like, hey, what happened? We're gonna hope to try to catch one of these coming out of this potentially later this week. I'm watching for it for sure. Okay, Nvidia, no, overextended. Oracle, need a pullback. Palantir, need a pullback. The Qs is holding up, but the Qs needs a pullback. It also is kind of pushing this after this, and we're thinking, hey, if this could actually consolidate, then maybe we can get going again. Rocket Lab, a good day from earnings. Nope, today's earnings. Cheap enough to buy outright if a sneaky reversal makes it. Good point. Good point. We could choose the options or choose the stock. This is aftermarket today. See what happens there. Ross Stores, I don't know. It's kind of churning sideways. RTX, Silver, SanDisk, SpaceX. Okay, here's the SPY. It's trying. The buyers have pushed it a little bit. Um, let's see. TD sideways. TGT overextended. T Rowe Price coming down. Here is Tesla. Here is Taiwan Semiconductor. Not much in these. You can see this is all the way filled this gap. It gapped up on earnings and it started to come down. We are thinking it might hold. It came down more. It's filled the gap. This is kind of in no man's land now, but if it could stabilize and turn, there may still be a potential for a trade in there. UPS, no. Viking Cruises, oh yes. Viking Cruises like Delta. Viking Cruise, the problem with Viking Cruises is the options are not great. So it I mean, they're okay in a couple of areas. Again, you can't like if you trade the Septembers, but you are flirting with very low liquidity levels. So my preference, if you're looking in the travel, AAL, DAL, VIK, my preference is DAL because of the options. They're going to have better options. Okay, the VIX is holding up. WDC down. Walmart. Okay. So let's go back to this J&J. And let's just kind of update this to see how would it look now. Template. Okay, so entry range. Oops, say, yeah, I'm still kind of in the same range. What's today's high? 261, 258.50 to 281. Stop loss. Yeah, I'm gonna say 254.30 to maybe 253.80, 252.80, I guess. Give it a little room. Target is 287. We'll say 287.50. What was it before? 287.50. I'm gonna leave that at 274.50. 7 to 10 days. What would the reward to risk ratio on this be? If I get from, we'll just call it 260 to 287.50 is 27.50. And 260 down to 254.30 is 570. 27.50 divided by 530. It's a good reward to risk ratio right there. If it makes that move. So if you look at this and you think, yeah, okay, look at that. It's made a couple. I'm 50-50 if this thing goes out. I want to get through the morning. You can see right. Whoops. What have you done, Scott? You can see we started okay, and then we had this big candle that's like, whoa, and then we tried to come back and we're just I want to see maybe, do we oh, this is the wrong. Oh no, that's the right stock. Yeah. Yeah. We have a little bit of room at a 5.18 to 1. We have some room to give it a little bit of space. I'm 50-50 on this. I want to see what happens as the morning goes on. So um yeah. Questions, comments, or concerns about this setup we have developing here. So, as far as everything on the list we have, this is the most advanced trade signal. I'm not sure yet if this is going to get an alert. You saw what the alert looks like and what we would be doing with it. So now you have some autonomy that you could decide for yourself, or you could wait and see if the alert comes out. Let me know if anyone has any questions, though, about any of the logistics for this trade. Okay. Is there one you guys think looks good that I missed for an entry today? I'm open to it. Can I look at GFS? Absolutely. We're in open territory now. We have reviewed our agenda. GFS. It's coming out of its earnings in struggle. So We had a we had a big consolidation that I don't feel broke. I feel like it just stalled. So for me, especially as you can see, it opened higher today and then popped back in. No, Lee, I tried multiple times and had issues. Give me just maybe an hour or so after this, and I'll get the Sunday video and the Monday video. I'll get the Sunday first though, and then I'll get today's. So I apologize. There was an issue with the posting, but I will get that up most post haste. Yeah, I'm on the fence on this one. I think it needs to smash out of here, and then when it comes back down, then we're like, okay, now this thing could try. And you can kind of see it looks like this. Popped out, pull, boom. That's it. I just need that. I need it to get up out of there, and then look what it has. It's unencumbered. It can go. Then you got one, two, three, four trades after that. Four trades in a row came after that breakout right there. Okay. Next stock is PLTR. We looked at PLTR. I like its recent breakout, but there's nothing for us until it gives some sort of a that would have been hard, a little 1 day consolidation, and then bang, it's so fast. I don't know. That thing's moving. It did nothing for so long, and then all of a sudden it's doing this. So that's interesting. SCHG. Ooh, I don't know that one. Oh, it's an ETF. Okay, Schwab US Large Cap Growth. So that's going to look similar to the Dow. So if I switch to the Dow now, I think I like the Dow better. If I'm doing large caps, I probably would just look at trading DIA. And DIA would probably have more better options. So DYFN, Angel Oak, DYFN. Oh, that doesn't want to pull up for some reason. DYFN. Or is it DYSN? Dyson? No, maybe thought that was something else. Okay. Uh, Here's what I'll tell you. There are good stocks on our list for this week. I do think that there are nice looking setups developing. We have one sort of in the hopper that we're waiting to see if it moves into the second half of the day with confirmation. It's in the healthcare sector, which is a little bit off cycle. So if you're like, well, Scott, the market's at resistance. Well, yeah, if you're trading growth things, you're at resistance. If you're trading off cycle, more defensive things, then you're usually going to have a different type of prospect. So that's what we're looking for there. DYNF. This is the U.S. Equity Factor Rotation Active ETF. I don't know what that means. I don't know what that means, but it does look nice. I mean, it just had a nice bullish move. It does kind of trade options. You can see there was a weird gap in its implied volatility down at the bottom. I don't know what that means. It's got a strange volume pattern. Um, it's like averaging 3 million shares, and then all of a sudden on this day it got 12 million. Didn't really do much with the price. So anyway, interesting. Interesting. Yeah, factor rotation. I can't. Usually you can tell like what's the objective, right? Is it a sector? Is it a group? Is it a commodity? Is it anyway. Okay, well, overall, let's go finish up with our last peek at the SPY, which is turned positive. We're up 0.13, so not by much. One, two, three, four, but we did break the opening range and we're up in the upper area. So that looks good. That certainly increases the potential of a possible trade. So we'll keep our eye on Johnson and Johnson. We have others developing for possibly later this week, etc. So, okay. Well, any others, you guys? Good start. This is a good transition. We had an improved market posture, and the overall market is trying to reflect that into its buying at this point. So, yeah, like I said, 50-50 for J&J. We'll keep an eye on that, see if it comes up. Others getting ready to sprout this week. Overall conditions have improved. I will post both yesterday and today's recordings and summaries for you to review. Any other questions or comments before we go? I agree. I love your enthusiasm, Mike. Let's go. Trevi, I'll throw that up. Good sneak in there. David P. Snuck it in. I love it. Oh, did I get the symbol wrong? Trevi Pharmaceuticals. Is that what it is? Trev E Therapeutics. Is it this one? TRBI. Um, there we go. And yes, Stephen, I will post the three exit trade as well. Boom. All right. This is an interesting one. Let me get out of 5 minutes and into the kind of sideways. We just had earnings. I don't know. Feels like it's a little bit choppy here around this 18 level, but maybe if it had like a little pullback and could ramp itself off and jump off that 50-day, then we might be able to break 20 and get moving again because it does look like it has great prospects. I mean, it's essentially doubled up in the last 6 months. So, all right. Thank you guys. Have a great rest of your day. I will see you tomorrow morning. As always, happy trading.